Good morning, y'all. This here's the Christian Trucker. I am sorry ahead of time about the audio. I'm kind of recording on the run. I had recorded and edited a little bit of this road footage y'all are going to see ahead of time. And I'm recording the voiceover today on Sunday morning as I run north. So hopefully it won't be too horrible. I hope you enjoy what we're going to talk about today. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me this morning. And I hope you have a great Sunday. Today I want to start us off with a little prayer. Dear Father, for every person that's listening to this video, I ask that you give them peace, good health, and much success. Help them all to come to know you as I know you, and to grow as Christians and great leaders in the faith. If they're truck drivers, keep them safe on the road. If they're not, keep them safe in every vehicle they drive. Help us all to watch out for each other. Help us all to take care of one another, to reach out to the weak and the needy, to lift each other up with every word that comes out of our mouth. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Now, I got a few things that I was going to kind of discuss today. You know, kind of more of a discussion than a sermon. I met somebody this week, and it kind of made me think. It kind of made me think because, you know, the discussion came up, and I let him know that I was on YouTube. And, well, during the talk, we were talking about how much money we make and we're going to make once we get ourselves paid off and everything. And he said, man, what are you going to do once you start making all that money? What are you going to do? Buy a church? And a lot of y'all may have the wrong impression of who I am and what I am. First of all, I'm no preacher. I'm not seminary trained and educated. I just speak and talk about the things that are on my heart to try to lift everybody up. You know, I'm not the best speaker in the world. I'm just a truck driver, a guy who believes in Jesus and loves a Savior, you know, and I want to help others. That's who I am. And that don't necessarily mean that I want to buy a church or that I'm going to be a preacher in a church or anything like that. It's not nothing wrong with that. It's just not who I am. My goal in life is to take care of my family and try to achieve some level of completing the Great Commission in my task of taking care of my family. Now, I'll go as far as the good Lord wants me to go. I mean, if He wants me in a mega church one day preaching, that's where I'll be. If He wants me in some podunk 2-seat church in the middle of Kansas, that's where I'll be. You can't really know what the good Lord has in store for you. You just have to understand that when He calls you or whenever He wants you somewhere, you will end up there. Just ask Jonah. Jonah didn't want to go, and he ended up in the belly of a whale, a great fish. He was all but dead, and the good Lord made that fish spit Jonah out. So don't argue with the good Lord when He asks you to be something or do something, because you don't want to be the one that ends up in the belly of the fish. You want to be the one that the good Lord is rewarding for doing what He asks. Now, next I'm going to talk a little bit about what are my future plans. My future plans are to pay this truck off, to get my own authority one day, and maybe grow this business as big as the Lord wants it. And if I hear him call me in a different direction at any point, I'll let it go and do what he says to do. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. You know, because if you argue with him and you don't do what he wants you to, he can take everything you got in the blink of an eye. We're going to move on to a topic about who are your friends, who are the people that you surround yourself with. Because I was listening to a preacher this morning, and he was talking about friendships. And I think it was King Solomon that spoke of if you surround yourself with wise friends, you will gain wisdom. And if you surround yourself with fools, basically you will end up being a fool. And so many people today, I believe, need to hear that, especially in the day of social media. You know, they say, 20 years ago, the average American had 7 close friends. Now, I think the average American has 2.5, something like that. I've got close friends. Most of them are family. I've got a few that I've talked to on the phone that I consider pretty close, but I have yet to meet them in person just because of our distances apart. I've got one that I thought was a close friend, and I hadn't talked to him in a very long time. But I bet you if we talked, we would pick it up just like where we left off, because we had been through so many of the same things. And a lot of the causes from that is the social media and the removal of face-to-face conversations. It's so easy to put up your status, I had oatmeal for breakfast, or I bought a new t-shirt, and wait on your friends to like it. But it's a little bit harder to go and meet somebody in public and face-to-face and have a conversation, a cup of coffee, because you can't control the direction of the conversation if you are in somebody's personal space. They're going to say what they're going to say, and you're going to say what you're going to say, and it all comes off the cuff. It all comes out right there. No editing, no making it perfect. It's just going to be raw you. And that's scary to some people. Some people, you know, are scared to put themselves out there like that. And the more social media grows, the more prone people are going to be being scared of talking to each other. And now, you know, I know some people that can be lonely in a crowd. If you're lonely, and if you're just feeling down, go talk to somebody. Just go do it. Go find an elderly person, a grandpa, a grandma, a mother, a father, and just go sit down and talk with them. Because I guarantee you, you're not as lonely as they are. I don't know how many times I've seen and heard about elderly people just wishing somebody would come by and talk to them. When I was young, there was a lady in our neighborhood named Miss Gladys. Well, Miss Gladys lived up the road probably about a half a mile in an old wood frame house, and she was super sweet, but her kids never came to see her. There was never anybody there. And I would ride my bicycle up and down our road, a little country road, I mean, with the coyotes and the deer and the opossums and the armadillos. I'd ride that bike all over our neighborhood. Well, Miss Gladys was always one of my favorite stops. I'd go by there, and she'd give me candy and cookies, and she would just talk, and we would talk about the garden. And bless her heart, she could barely move around some days, but whenever I came up in there, she got to moving. She was the sweetest person, and I used to really enjoy going by to see her. And it's sad that so many people today don't even think about the elderly that are in their neighborhood. They just look at them and keep going because we get so involved with our work and with our social life that we have very little time to think of others. I'm not being critical of everybody. I'm just saying the facts of the way life is today in America. When things were used to be, we had great neighborhoods and we had great communities where we all took care of each other. And now, especially in the bigger cities, it's pretty bad. I mean, you're lucky if they don't poke you in the eye as you walk by if you stare at them. right, let me try to get back on topic here a little bit. Who are your friends? Are you friends with good people, bad people, crazy people? Because there are theories out there that you are an average of your friends. So like if you got 4 friends that are super rich, and you got 4 friends that are super poor, your average would be middle ground. You would have the middle money. You wouldn't have the most money, you wouldn't have the least money. That's the premise that was laid out in a video I watched earlier. So it supposedly it attains to their spiritual dynamic and their financial success and their wisdom and so forth and so on. So I guess what they were basically trying to say, and I'm going to put this in only the way I can, if you want to be dumb, hang out with dumb people. If you want to be smart, hang out with smarter people. If you want to be crazy, go hang out with people that are adrenaline seekers. Because I tell you, some of the things they do are crazy. Because I wouldn't do a lot of them, and I have been known to do a few crazy things in my life. Surround yourself with people that are like you want to be. Because if you do not, you will never rise above what you are now. Are you happy with what you are now? That's the other question. If you're happy and satisfied in life, don't change a thing. But if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, if you're lonely, whatever the case may be, you need to make a change. Life is too short not to be happy, not to find that satisfaction, not to fill that hole within your soul, when the answer is really simple. God can fill the hole in your soul. God can bring you happiness. Changing your friends can bring you a little bit of happiness also. But most of all is the Father. The Father can change everything about you and make life a lot more worth living. For you single guys out there, you may be having fun, but life is not worth living if you ain't got somebody to share everything with. If you conquer the world, but you don't have anybody on your side to share it with, that is a problem. You need a woman in your life to share everything that you've done, all of your accomplishments, and you can share in her accomplishments to lift each other up. I mean, there's days when I'm down, my wife lifts me up, and there's days when she's down that I lift her up, and we just couldn't hardly do it without each other. And that's the way life should be. We should lean on each other. And in order to lean on each other, first we've got to lean on God. And God, He loves you so much, He sent His only begotten Son to die on the cross. To be humiliated. To be mocked and spit at. And hung on a cross with nails in His hands and a crown of thorns. He did that so that all who call upon His name can be saved. And for all the preachers out there, the guys that went through the seminary and are working through churches and everything, my hat is off to y'all, because y'all are special. And I really, really respect each and every one of you. I'm going to let it go right there. I'm about out of time. God bless. Catch you on the next ride.